that is why for some time the plan that the government had went off-road. And as individuals, sometimes we put plans on paper, something happens and you have to go back to the drawing board. So after a lot of concerns and efforts, and I must say that there's been some activism, significant activism also from the community. Government said, look, instead of waiting for our creditors to say that it is now time to release the money, government decided to find money from its own resources to pay for the large general hospital.
However, the project manager and the Minister of Health are unable to confirm whether the outpatient department of the La General Hospital will be ready for use by November this year, as promised by the government, including the President.
If you look at, there's some caving in that has come. We want to see whether some of these things will affect that. But we can, probably in a month, we can confirm whether or not by the 29th of October, you can come for an injection.
I don't want to say part of the OPD will be ready whilst others are coming up. Bottom line, if it goes by the roadmap, we know that we'll have our hospital functioning and all of us will be happy.
The 160-bed capacity facility, which is now 20% complete, will have 7-story building for medical staff already on the 4th level. It will also have other standard features, including a surgery department, mortuary, obstetrics and gynecology department, The health minister also inspected works at the 120-capacity children's hospital located at Weija. The facility, which is 60% complete, is to be commissioned in September this year. It has wards, surgical units, intensive care units, and mother's hostel, as well as a conference room, among others.
Well, the civil society organizations for HIV and tuberculosis says they remain pessimistic and skeptic despite government's assurance to clear a shipment of essential drugs in 2 weeks. The drug provided by Global Fund have been at the port for about a year waiting to be cleared, prompting Global Fund to restrict further of such funding to the country. Convener of the CSOs, Ernest Austin, is, however, hopeful that the Global Fund will continue to support the country with drugs. He maintained that the CSOs will present a petition to President Akufo-Addo to forestall future government from putting lives at risk. Let's do some power-related stories now. The Ghana Grid Company Limited and the Electricity Company of Ghana, ECG, are hinting a possible load management for 3 weeks. In a joint statement issued on Thursday, June 13, ECG and GRIDCO clarified that the load management is necessary due to maintenance works being undertaken by the gas supplier in Nigeria and is projected to last 3 weeks. According to the joint statement, the maintenance had caused a reduction in overall power generation capacity in Ghana, which could result in load management over the period of the work. They further highlighted that the recent interruptions in power supply experienced in part of the country are attributed to a decrease in gas supply from Nigeria since June 12. While apologizing for the inconvenience caused, they assured the public that they are collaborating with other stakeholders in the power value chain to optimize available resources to ensure minimal impact of the reduction in gas supply on consumers. This is still Newsroom. We'll be back after this break. Welcome back from the break. Let's go back to our earlier story. The Ghana Grid Company Limited and the Electricity Company of Ghana, ECG, are hinting a possible load management for 3 weeks. In a joint statement issued on Thursday, June 13, ECG and GRIDCO clarified that the load management is necessary due to maintenance work being undertaken by a gas supplier in Nigeria and is projected to last 3 weeks. My colleague Nanama is in the studio to bring what we've been discussing, what you have been talking about on social media. So, Nanama, what has people been saying on social media on this particular topic?
Good morning, Dede. Well, they have interesting comments to say, so let's dive straight in. We have Kujo here on Instagram. You people are not serious in life. Always you have excuses. What kind of breeds are you people? Why won't they say Dutch passport is better than a Ghanaian PhD? This argument is still raging. Then we also have Ellie. Later, the MPP will say it's a local problem. We also have Enoch. So people will still pay light bills. I think that's a question that he's asking. So GRIDCO and ECG, please let us know. Then we also have Isaac here, simply asking how. And those are the comments we have. I would like to see some kind of timetable or something like that so that we will know when we are going to have light off, so that we can arrange ourselves, whether it's a business, whether it's your personal home or wherever it is that you may be. My name is Nanama Aqua. Please continue to send us your messages on Instagram, on Facebook and on X, formerly Twitter. Dede, back over to you.
All right. Thank you so much, Nanama, for giving us updates on social media. Well, let's do some other stories now, because 2 Ghanaian pilgrims are reported to have died in this year's annual Islamic pilgrimage, Hajj, at Mecca in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. The deceased are alleged to have embarked on the pilgrimage from the Savannah region, hoping to complete the mandatory rite of the Hajj. Let's cross over to Mecca and speak to Director of Communications at the Ghana Hajj Board, Alhaji Abdul Rahman Gomda. Hello, sir. Thank you for making time to join us on Newsroom. We apologize for that interruption. We'll bring you a conversation on that particular topic in our subsequent bulletin. But Just Sally Development Organization have brought hope and economic empowerment to women once ostracized as alleged witches at the Bonyagaze decommissioned witches' home in the central region. In the central Gonja district. Through a transformative savings scheme, these women have not only reclaimed their dignity, but also amassed savings of 26,000 cedis in just 1 year, proving the power of resilience and community support. There's more in this report.
In the heart of Ghana's Savannah region lies Bonyase, a farming community in the central Gonja district. The area, once known for its notorious witches' home, served as a refuge for women accused of witchcraft. Life in the camp was often bleak, with little hope for a brighter future. However, the narrative has begun to change, thanks to the relentless efforts of the Sally Development Organization. The CEO of the Sally Development Organization, Seydou Jeremiah, expressed his delight at the progress made while emphasizing the organization's commitment to community economic empowerment.
If we get support, we will be able to build their capacity to advocate for themselves. We have done that for widows in Solatuna Kalba districts. We are doing this for witches, a decommissioned camp for witches in central Gonja.
He also called on political leaders and philanthropists to extend their support to the alleged witches, ensuring sustainable development and further economic empowerment.
If we can extend them to the women, to less advantaged communities of this nature, we should be doing our little contribution to humanity and our little contribution to getting government programs going on, and our little contribution to create peace and empower women against violence extremism.
However, the Central Gonja District Director of Agriculture, Yusuf Mumuni, was part of the assessment tour.
We're very happy that he has revamped all the groups in Central Gonja. And we are happy because the witch camp, which was destroyed, is now working.
The story of the Bonyase decommissioned witches' home is evolving from one of despair to one of hope and empowerment. The savings scheme has not only provided financial security, but has also fostered a sense of community and mutual support among the women.
Well, the Ghana Health Service is condemning events leading to the death of a patient who was allegedly abandoned in a bush at Gumwa, Ojobi, in the central region. The said woman, who is believed to be in her 60s, was said to be on admission at the Trauma and Specialist Hospital in Winneba due to a fatal accident after her relatives had failed to show up. She was conveyed in the hospital's ambulance and left in a wheelchair at Ojobi, where she claimed to be that her hometown and was later found dead. There's more.
The Ghana Health Service is initiating investigations into the death of a patient who was allegedly abandoned in a bush. The woman had been at the Trauma and Specialist Hospital in Winneba for a month after the road accident, which the facility said it had to bear all her costs. According to the facility, the deceased, whose brain was also affected by the accident, was able to tell them she is from Gomwa Ojobi in the central region. However, around 8:30 p.m. on Tuesday, 11th June 2024, residents of Gomwa Ojobi said they saw an ambulance around that portion of the road, only for them to find the woman, who was still alive but with POP on her legs and a wheelchair, lying in the bush. The Ghana Health Service
Let's do some business stories now. Well, in business today, e-commerce and courier service company GHOne exited the Ghana business market in May, citing profitability challenges. However, a team of students from the Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology have put their best foot forward to swim against the tide. Led by level 300 student Abbas Abdul Latif, the innovation Awisi box is a course to rival global giants in the quick commerce industry. My colleague at Ultimate FM, Ivan Heathcote Fumodo, has more on this report.
Latif's dream to build an e-commerce and delivery platform started in senior high school when he began purchasing and selling gadgets. 4 years on, Latif's product, Awisi, is now set to rival companies in the e-commerce market.
Started back in SHS, so I liked online shopping. So for me shopping, I got the experience to order from China. I realized it's been simple and I have the capacity to do it. Yes, so I tried it. I created my own platform, which was Awisi. That was only e-commerce. So when time was going, we need change. So we changed our models a little bit, and that's how you see Awisi.
The innovation offers customers a convenient shopping platform for purchasing food, pharmaceuticals, groceries, and courier services. Latif is positive that Awisi has what it takes to navigate the profitability hurdles that drove giants like Glovo out of the Ghanaian market.
Yes, so they are a foreign company. I think maybe some issues or some things imposed on them will be different for we, the citizens. So I feel like it will be easier for us to navigate through the system. We are trying to build our own fleet of riders, more than to source third party. Yes, and I think delivery will be smooth.
Management of the Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology have shown keen interest in supporting the student-led initiative to blossom. Professor James Osei-Mensah is an associate professor with the Department of Agric Economics and Agribusiness.
To the university, where we celebrate entrepreneurship, where we encourage youth innovativeness, we think that this is a good step in the right direction. And we are very happy that one of a team of students from the university, Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology, have been able to come out with this app and is going to contribute to addressing societal needs, which one of them is unemployment. And the app also offers to consumers the comfort, the reliability, the assurance for you to get your orders delivered whilst we are still working. So to me, it is a great innovation. Thank you very much.
At level 300, Latif's story has become an inspiration for his colleagues and other students who have begun registering their products on the app to sell.
And then I was the first lady who was able to order food here. And then with the app, it's so easy and convenient to use. Having from pharmaceuticals to food and groceries, I think it will be easy for us to live around on campus as well. And I will soon have my brand and my fruit on the app too. So
Africa is burning with a lot of creativity and innovative ideas here, from young talents to older generation that are burning with innovation and activities day in and day out. The problem is that we fail to patronize our own, and I have been a strong advocate for African solution to African problem.
Apart from the jobs it creates along the value chain, retail e-commerce sales are expected to reach $7.4 trillion by 2025. Latif has high hopes his innovation will soon transcend the borders of Ghana to take a bigger bite of the cherry.
As a global brand, we are looking forward to exit Ghana. Right now we are based in Kumasi, so within 2 to 3 months we are looking to go to Accra and to other capital cities. Then we will move to our francophone countries, Cote d'Ivoire, then to Nigeria. Then we can capture
Setbacks, including the untimely death of a team lead, Kingsley Ajaman Banahine, could not deter the team of students from pulling through the app development stage, assembling of delivery riders, and tying in with partner shops towards a successful launch. The initiative represents another story of ingenuity and eagerness of the Ghanaian youth to create commercially viable solutions, create jobs, and make an impactful mark, even in a challenging environment.
On to some industrial actions related stories. The members of the Colleges of Education Teachers Association of Ghana, CTAG, have declared an indefinite strike involving all 46 public colleges of education in Ghana. The indefinite strike takes effect from today, Friday, June 14, 2024, due to 7 issues which government has failed to comply with by an order given by the National Labour Commission. This includes the payment of 1 month's salary to each entitled member of CTAG as compensation for additional duty performed in 2022. Another order that the agreed rate of allowances payable to the public universities be applied to deserving members of CTAG, and an order that the implementation of the completed staff audit exercise shall commence from January 1, 2023, amongst others. We are joined in the studio by the communications team member for CTAG to discuss this issue, and his name is Fidelis Kamayi. Fidelis, how are you doing this morning?
I'm good. Yourself?
You are striking.
Yes, we are.
So you don't look excited about it?
Not at all.
Okay, so I want to take us through roughly, in the story, you have 7 issues. Run us through them.
In the year 2022, by the nature of our academic calendar, we worked from January to December 2022. And it's against the labor law for an employee to work throughout the year without rest. So we demanded that our employer pays us 2 months compensation. But in the course of the arbitration, the arbitrators ordered that the employer should pay us 1 month salary compensation for all deserving members. 2, our conditions of service had expired, so we started the negotiation from January 2021, and we couldn't finish. So the Fair Wages and Salaries Commission took us to National Labour Commission for a compulsory arbitration. As part of the orders that were issued, the employer is supposed to extend or apply the rates payable to public university lecturers or staff to deserving CTAG members. And this order has not been complied with. Also, our research allowance for 2023 as a form of a top-up was also not paid. We have tried our best to get them complied with, but as we speak, they have not yet been complied with. And last year, too, when we embarked on our strike in August, Our salaries were frozen, and they were defrozen, I think, somewhere in January 2024. But as we speak, that of our national president and some members of CTAC have still not been given their August 2023 salary. So these are the issues we are striking on. Also, we're supposed to implement the staff audit that was conducted by the Ghana Tertiary Education Commission. That one too has not been complied with. So these are issues.
Right.
And finally, I think there's another one that is GTEC and PRINCOF, our Principals Association, unilaterally varied our office positions and position holding allowances without involving CTAC, although we had signed an MOU with Fair Wages and Ministry of Finance.
Last year, you went on strike.
Yes, we did.
I'm asking this because how effective have your decision to go on strike been, considering the fact that you would have to go on strike every now and then if government doesn't hold up to the end of their bargain?
If you look at last year's strike, we were ordered by the National Labour Commission to call off the action because the employer had given an indication that they were going to comply with the orders of the NLC. It was on that basis that we called off our strike. But a year on, nothing has been done on it. That is why we are embarking on this particular industrial action. So this time around, we have resolved that until all the arbitral awards are complied with, we are not going to call off the strike. The reason being that the National Labour Commission, who is supposed to enforce that its orders are complied with, is also complicit. Because as we speak, they have done nothing. We have written 3 letters to them. They have not been responded to.
Why would you think they're complicit?
Because if you look at the National Labour Law, it is the National Labour Commission that is supposed to enforce its own orders by going to the High Court to compel the employer to comply with the orders. But we have written to them severally. They have taken no action concerning our awards. That is why they are also complicit in this particular situation.
Okay, are you looking to take up other forms of getting your issues addressed? Because it's been strike every now and then. Are you looking to exploring other options?
We would have gone on. We would have gone to court to compel the employer to comply the awards.
What's stopping
you? But
you?
unfortunately, the law doesn't allow the employee to enforce the orders of the National Labour Commission.
Okay.
It is the Labour Commission that is mandated by law to go to court and ensure that its orders are complied with.
So right now, the Labour Commission is, to some extent, your only hope. And now you're saying that you're suspecting, or you're saying that they are complicit. How then do you intend they fight for you?
So we want to suspend our teaching until they ensure that their orders are complied with. We are not going back to work.
Okay. Strong resolve there. That was part of the communications team for CTAC. Fidelis Kamai speaking to me that that's it for business. We've actually. To some other stories, with barely 6 months to the 2024 elections, calls have intensified for the establishment of a public health emergency fund for the country. The call, which was first made by a coalition of CSOs led by Send Ghana, have now gained momentum as the various political parties are being urged to consider the establishment of these emergency funds in their manifestos, especially as pressure mounts on government to convert the COVID-19 levy into a public health emergency fund ahead of the election.
For the past 3 years, a coalition of CSOs led by Send Ghana has mounted pressure on the government of Ghana to increase healthcare budgetary allocations to ensure adequate preparedness in times of epidemics and the sporadic outbreak of diseases in the country. The call for a public health emergency fund intensified following the outbreak of the COVID-19 pandemic and its impact on the country's health sector and the economy at large.
We had a challenge during COVID with a number of ICU beds in the country, and once a pandemic comes in, you will definitely have critically ill ones who would need ICU care. We are in a climate where pandemics should no longer be a surprise anymore. It's something we should anticipate. So establishing of a fund to prepare us wholly, the healthcare system, Ghana Health Service, Ministry of Health, prepare us wholly for any pandemic so that you don't have to place a call to say, I need a bed at UGMC before you get the best of care because of a pandemic. Right? The same services that are provided at UGMC, the same access to laboratory investigations, same quality of care that someone will get at UGMC, you can get that across anywhere once we have a pandemic.
Something should happen again today. What are we going to do for the money? We're going to start going around again, scouting for money. We've exhausted all the funds that exist. I'll give you one classic example. GRIDCO, the GRIDCO project in Accra, which was supposed to solve the drainage and sanitation problems. $85 million was diverted to solve COVID problems. COVID was beyond Ebola. It was nationwide, and if its effects we cannot recover, we are still suffering from it. And therefore, there's need for that fund so that we can anticipate, prepare, train, equip. We don't wait before we start running around to equip, to train people, to specialize. No. So when we have that fund, you then have a well-prepared country. Anything that happens, emergency, even if it's minor, we can handle it.
As the 2024 general elections approach, the various political parties are being urged to consider the PHEF as part of their manifestos. Member of Parliament for Central Tong, Gabi Alexander Hotoje, who is also a member of Parliament's Health Committee, is one of such persons.
The political parties must be made to include this in their manifestos. Why am I saying so? If you look at what happened during the COVID-19, it was a situation that took us without us expecting it at all. It was a situation that created panic and fear among our people. We don't always have to wait until something happens before we find solution to it. So that particular fund is of utmost importance to me. And we raised this issue at the health committee level, that COVID-19 levy, in order not to misuse it, it should be turned into that particular fund.
In 2017, the country's capacity in the areas of national legislation, policy, and financing in order to prevent, detect, and rapidly respond to any public health risk was rated low by a WHO Joint External Evaluation Assessment. Government was subsequently tasked to establish the PHEF to address the logistical and infrastructure challenges that confront the country's health sector. However, this recommendation did not receive any commitment from government. This is why some members of Parliament's Health Committee further want government to convert the COVID-19 levy introduced in 2021 into the PHEF.
We have funds that we are generating that we can realign. At the moment, I was even looking at the 1% COVID levy, which is generating some significant amount of money. My memory serves me right. Last year budget alone, we are anticipating close to 2.something to 3 billion Ghana cedis. That's significant.
Government has been very adamant because I strongly suspect that they want to turn that fund into something, the COVID-19 levy. They want to misuse it again. So I am renewing our call as a committee that particular fund should be changed into emergency fund.
The call for the establishment of a public health emergency fund has gained considerable attention lately in the public domain. The proponents are of the firm belief that the PHEF would position Ghana and its health sector properly to be able to deal with any health emergency in the future. But a lot is yet to be seen on the part of government in this particular regard. For GHOne News, my name is Faisal Abdul-Idrisu.
Still remain in the Volta region because the Home Municipal Director for the National Youth Authority, Charles Gominu, is calling for stringent monitoring measures on activities of traveling agencies to ensure the safety of young Ghanaian girls who travel to the Middle East for greener pastures. According to him, recent reports on the safety of these young girls are disturbing, noting that the situation demands immediate action from both parents and government.
Speaking on the sidelines of a boot camp organized for some 60 selected artisans in the whole municipality, Municipal Director for the National Youth Authority, Charles Gominu, laments how young Ghanaian girls are continuously taken out of the country to the Middle East and subjected to all forms of abuse. He believes the trend could have dire consequences on the country's workforce in the future and calls for a close watch on the activities of traveling agencies and their agents to ensure the safety of these girls.
Government must also put some measures in place. Anyone who would like to, or any agency that would like to engage our young female, send them outside for such jobs, must go to the labor office to be scrutinized. The agencies must be known by our foreign missions in those countries, and anybody sent from Ghana to those countries must duly be registered with our missions over there.
The boot camp forms part of a project dubbed the Young and Safe Project, a joint initiative by Note 8, a non-profit making organization, and its ally consortium intended to address the challenges young people face.
The boot camp is an activity under the Young and Safe Project where we are supporting people within school and out of school with knowledge in sexual reproductive health, mental health, and cyber hygiene. The goal is that we believe that in a city that is really relevant and functional, tackling the issues of mental and cyber health, reproductive health is really, really important for people to be able to live well and be able to ascertain the issues that are really critical to the survival in the city. If you look at the last the housing census, you realize that in terms of statistics and percentages, the young people constitute over 55% of the population. It means that there are more young people in Ho as a city compared to the older folks.
The project is expected to benefit 600 youth between the ages of 15 and 26 for the next 3 years. For GHOne News, Faisal Abdulidrisu.
Well, it's time for sports, and Monica is in the studio with everything sports. Monica.
Good afternoon. Well, it was a great time yesterday on Star Chart as Bulare hosted coach of the Black Stars, Otto Addo. And one of the things he mentioned was he has the free will to operate as head coach of the Stars without any interference from the GFA or any political affiliations. Let's go deeper on this after this breather. Now, Black Stars head coach Otto Addo says Jordan Ayew played his favorite position against the Central African Republic in the just-ended World Cup qualifier in Kumasi. Jordan Ayew's outstanding performance against the CAR, or Central African Republic, propelled Ghana to top of Group I in the 2026 FIFA World Cup qualifiers, with the Black Stars now securing 9 points from 4 games. Coach Otto Addo, speaking on Star Charts with Bulare, revealed that Jordan Ayew played his favorite position, but it depends on the game and where he would need him.
Like I said in the press conference before, especially offensive players are only judged by goals, but there's a lot of defensive work they have to do, and I think John did quite well the last year. Surely this is his favorite position, but I know that he can also help at the flanks or in the midfield because he's good in closing lanes. He's very, very tactical, defensively disciplined. He has a good condition, and for that, it depends on the game wherever you need him. And I thought in these games we needed a number 9, but I don't know, like say when we play next year in Chad, where he's going to play. So it's difficult. Therefore, I have to analyze Chad first, and then see where I can use which player in which position. And for me, it's always more important that we win as a team. It's not about the individual player. It's about the team, and it's about where you put the players to do the best for the team. Sometimes GHOne will shine, sometimes maybe another one who scored the goals will shine, but for me it's always team.
Now, Coach Otto Addo says he stated that his decisions regarding the national team are his own. Concerns have been raised about player selection interference in the Black Stars team, prompting Otto Addo to clarify that he makes all decisions with his technical staff, but he has the final word. In an interview with Bulare, still on Star Chat, Coach Otto Addo revealed there are no political or football administrators' interference in his decision-making on the selection.
Sure, it's my decision. Whatever I do here in the national team, surely sometimes, I mean, we discuss things with our technical staff, but the decisions which we make for players and on the field, at the end I have the last word. And if it wouldn't be like that, I would never come here. And I have to thank the GFA that they never interfered. They never interfered in my...
They can suggest, but you have the final say.
Yeah, but even they, I mean, I have to say, the president, he left me alone. They left me alone with the decision, and I think that's the best way it can work. Because if there are too many interference in this and that, and I know it's not only a thing which happens in Ghana, and it's normal sometimes also like in Europe when president suggests this or that. But at the end, the coach has to have the last word. This is for sure. And for me, I'm always surprised when people are asking me this and that. But me, I'm not that kind of person. If it would be like that, I wouldn't be here.
You go.
Now, away from Star Chart, Black Stars and Arsenal midfielder Thomas Partey has generously donated items to Catholic Action for Street Children on his birthday. Speaking at a short ceremony, Partey revealed his motivation for his gesture is because he has been in a similar situation as those children. He therefore deeply understands and emphasizes with their feelings, hence his donation.
For when I was hungry and you gave me something to eat, I was thirsty and you gave me something to drink. That is what the good book says, and Black Stars midfielder Thomas Partey has paid heed to. Thomas Partey marked his birthday by donating food items, groceries, and an undisclosed amount to the Catholic Action for Street Children, an organization that for 30 years has been promoting human resources for Ghana, improving the lives of street children by empowering them with skills. During the event, the adaptable midfielder shared that coming from the streets of a shaman, he understands the challenges of having no one, which is the reason for his donation.
It is, to be on the streets sometimes. I grew up in Ashaiman, and I'm sure most of you know. And I know how difficult it is without help. So today is my birthday, and, these big men, they said, okay, we have to do something. So they bring me here, and I'm really happy to be here. So I want to say all of you have to have the ability, to dream. And once you dream, you have to be working hard on it. You just don't dream and be sitting there. You have to learn from your teachers and all the people that are teaching you. Even when they are not your teachers, you still have to respect them. And that's how you're going to be blessed, because I come from the same place like you, and I'm here today because I had to listen to people, and I have to learn a lot and work so hard. So I'm assuring you, if you're able to do that and don't go back to the street, you'll be able to be everywhere you want to be.
The kids were filled with joy and happiness as they were reassured that, regardless of where you come from, your aspirations are within reach, with Thomas Partey shining brightly as a source of inspiration.
Now, a belated happy birthday to Thomas Partey. But do join us at 1 p.m. here on GHOne TV and Star FM for more sports. My name is Monica Bukari. Back to you, Awisi Dede.
Thank you so much, Monica, for giving us sports. Before we take some international stories now, news reaching us right now says that a recent Attorney General report has formally charged Ben Lord Ababil with a murder in connection with the shooting death of Lance Corporal Michael Danso at Millennium City, Kaswa. The report states that Ababil, a national security operative, allegedly shot and killed a soldier during a land dispute on April 30, 2024. The charges against him include murder contrary to Section 46 of the Criminal Offences Act, 1960 Act 29, unlawful possession of a firearm contrary to Section 192 of the Criminal Offences Act, 29. The Attorney General's report reveals that the investigation also revealed that Ben Lord fired the shot that killed Lance Corporal Danso, and that he had no legal authority to possess the firearm used in the crime. Ben Lord has been remanded in police custody pending further investigations, and trial will bring you details in our subsequent bulletin. It's time for international news now. Yes, Tensions between the U.S. and Russia have escalated as President Joe Biden reiterated America's stance against Russian aggression, while President Vladimir Putin condemned perceived threat. Meanwhile, at the G7 summit, a 10-year bilateral security deal between the U.S. and Ukraine was signed, aiming to bolster Ukraine's defense capabilities without committing U.S. troops. Additionally, the G7 froze $325 billion in assets following Russia's invasion of Ukraine, with interest from these funds being used to pay off a $50 billion loan for Ukraine. This loan was hailed as a significant support measure, with President Biden emphasizing ongoing U.S. commitment to Ukraine's defense, echoed by President Zelensky's gratitude and recognition of the historic nature of the security deal. Other G7 leaders praised the loan deal, recognizing its potential to be game-changing for Ukraine. Brings us to the end of Newsroom here on GHOne Television. My name is Awisi Dede. Have a wonderful afternoon.